According to the latest WTA race data, the road to the WTA finals has never looked this chaotic. Cincinnati is unfolding right now, the US Open is sitting just days away, and every single point on this leaderboard is reportedly about to matter more than at any other moment this season. Stay with us until the very end, because somewhere in the middle of this list, two players are separated by exactly 1 point, and at the very top, the gap between number 1 and number 2 is apparently so small it could disappear inside a single match. By the time we reach number 1, you will understand exactly why insiders are calling this one of the tightest WTA finals races in years. The WTA race reportedly tracks everything these players have achieved across the entire 2026 season. Every match, every title, every deep run counted toward one single leaderboard. Right now, the qualification cut for the WTA finals sits at 7,111 points, and according to current standings, that number is the line. Cross it, and a player reportedly earns a place at the biggest indoor event of the year. Falls short, and the season allegedly ends without that stage. So here is the question we are chasing today. Can Alexandra Aliassime reportedly break into the top 10 before the US Open even begins? And with Rybakina, Sabalenka and Andreeva allegedly separated by almost nothing at the very top, who actually seizes control of this race before New York arrives? Before we get into it, tap that like button, subscribe to Anything Trend, and turn on notifications so you catch every update the moment it drops. Now let's count down the latest WTA race standings, according to current data, starting from number 30 and working our way down to number 1. Do not skip ahead, because the closer this list gets to the top, the more insane these gaps become. Sitting at number 30 is Ekaterina Alexandrova. The 31-year-old Russian reportedly holds 1,150 points, just enough to remain inside the top 30 as the race allegedly continues tightening around her. She is not safe for long either. Only one single point reportedly separates her from Hailey Baptiste, who occupies number 29. The 24-year-old American sits on 1,153 points and continues building valuable ground in what has apparently become one of the most competitive stretches of this entire list. One strong result could flip that order overnight. Jasmine Paolini holds number 28 with 1,194 points, according to the latest race tracker. The 30-year-old Italian reportedly still has work to do, but the gap separating her from the players ahead remains well within reach. Moving up to number 27, Maria Sakkari of Greece sits on 1,228 points at 31 years old, leaving her just outside a group that appears to be building serious momentum upward. Emma Navarro, 25 years old, occupies number 26 with 1,376 points. She is reportedly another dangerous name lurking in this stretch of the race, the exact kind of section where a single great tournament can completely rewrite the picture. Right behind her, at number 25, sits Jelena Ostapenko. The 29-year-old Latvian holds 1,424 points, and given her aggressive playing style, analysts suggest she remains fully capable of a sudden climb the moment momentum swings her way. Poland's Marja Chwalinska occupies number 24 with 1,539 points, marking what many are calling a genuine breakthrough season for the 24-year-old. She now reportedly finds herself firmly locked into the race's top 25, a position few predicted for her at the start of the year. Just above her, at number 23, Marie Buskova holds 1,555 points. The 28-year-old Czech has apparently pieced together enough consistent results to stay steady inside this increasingly crowded pack. And the margins keep shrinking from here. Only 13 points reportedly separate Buskova from Anastasia Potapova, who sits at number 22 with 1,568 points at age 25. The players surrounding her remain very much within striking range. Elise Mertens follows at number 21 with 1,675 points. The Belgian veteran stays close to the top 20, though she will reportedly need additional results soon to start closing the wider gap sitting above her. And here is the top 20. Breaking into this tier is Amanda Anisimova, who at 24 years old holds 1,683 points, putting her just 8 points behind Mertens and firmly inside the group that matters most from this stage forward. Number 19 belongs to Anna Kalinskaya of Russia, sitting on 1,728 points at age 27, now reportedly within clear sight of the players occupying the upper half of this entire race. At number 18 sits a familiar Grand Slam champion, Madison Keys. The 31-year-old American holds 1,815 points, keeping her comfortably inside the chase despite an increasingly crowded field around her. Naomi Osaka occupies number 17 with 1,937 points. The 28-year-old former world number 1 is reportedly another major name looking to climb hard as the season enters its most decisive stretch. Here is one of the youngest names making real noise on this entire list. Iva Iovic, just 18 years old, holds number 16 with 1,992 points. 18 years old and already sitting ahead of several established veteran stars according to the current standings, a detail that alone should tell you how dangerous her season has quietly become. Next, at number 15, Alexandra Eala of the Philippines holds 2,061 points at 21 years old. Her recent WTA 500 Mubadala DC Open title has reportedly given her race campaign a serious boost, and she now sits only a few hundred points from cracking the top 10 completely. Belinda Bencic follows right behind her at number 14 with 2,077 points. The 29-year-old Swiss holds just a 16-point lead over Eala, but here is the catch. According to tournament reports, her early Cincinnati exit means she cannot add to that total this week, which reportedly opens the door for Eala to catch her before the US Open even arrives. At number 13, Sorana Cîrstea holds 2,120 points. At 36 years old, the Romanian is apparently proving that experience still counts for something, staying firmly alive in this conversation against opponents more than a decade younger. Just ahead of her, Diana Schneider occupies number 12 with 2,160 points. The 22-year-old Russian has reportedly positioned herself to challenge the players above her as the season heads toward its two biggest events of the year. And then there is Victoria Azarenka at number 11, a name that will likely surprise a lot of viewers. The 19-year-old Canadian has allegedly accumulated 2,393 points, putting her just one single place outside the top 10 and making her one of the most intriguing young contenders in this entire race. One spot away from the top 10. Let that sit for a second, because we are about to step into the zone where the gaps stop being small and start becoming razor thin. Quick recap before we push forward, in case you just joined us. We have counted down from number 30 all the way to number 11, and according to the data, the middle of this race has been nothing short of chaotic. 1-point margins, 13-point margins, players separated by such tiny amounts that a single early exit could reportedly flip 3 or 4 spots overnight. But everything so far is apparently nothing compared to what comes next. The next 10 names on this list are the 10 players standing between an ordinary season and a confirmed place at the WTA finals. So if you have made it this far, stay with us, because this is where the real story of the entire 2026 season begins to unfold. Now we officially reach the top 10, and this is exactly where the numbers start getting seriously interesting. Iga Swiatek holds number 10 with 3,019 points, a position she is reportedly not accustomed to occupying, but do not count her out just yet. She remains close enough to the leading pack that the second half of the season could allegedly transform her entire situation within weeks. One spot above her, Marta Kostyuk holds number 9 with 3,460 points. The 24-year-old Ukrainian has apparently built a strong enough total to stay firmly locked into the finals conversation heading into the final stretch. Linda Noskova occupies number 8, and the 21-year-old Czech holds 3,749 points, now sitting right on the edge of the elite tier, with the top 7 reportedly only a short distance away. Number 7 belongs to Coco Gauff. The 22-year-old American holds 3,939 points, putting her in a strong, stable position as the race enters this pivotal North American stretch of the calendar. At number 6, Karolina Muchova holds 4,270 points. The 29-year-old Czech is reportedly the first player sitting outside the top 5, though she remains comfortably clear of the chasing group behind her. From here, things get genuinely serious, and this is reportedly where the real story of this entire race begins. Jessica Pegula holds number 5 with 4,460 points. The 32-year-old American has apparently been one of the steadiest point collectors across the whole season, and she remains firmly within striking distance of the podium positions above her. Just ahead, Elina Svitolina occupies number 4 with 4,679 points, sitting less than 220 points behind the top 3, close enough that a single deep run could reportedly change everything for her. Before we reach the top 3, consider what is actually happening in this cluster. Pegula, Svitolina, and the 3 names sitting above them are reportedly separated by less than 700 points combined. In an ordinary season, a gap that size covers roughly half of this entire list. Right now, it covers 5 of the best players on the planet, which is allegedly exactly how tight the 2026 WTA race has become, and precisely why Cincinnati and the US Open are about to matter more than almost any other stretch of tennis this year. And now, the top 3, where this race turns into something almost unheard of. Mira Andreeva holds number 3 with 5,129 points. At just 19 years old, she has reportedly already established herself among the leading contenders on the entire tour. And here is the number that should stop you cold. She sits only 1 point away from second place. Yes, 1 point. Say that again, 1 single point. Reportedly the entire gap separating Mira Andreeva from Aryna Sabalenka, who occupies number 2, with 5,130 points. The 28-year-old Belarusian trails the leader by just over 200 points, meaning the battle at the very top could allegedly shift with almost every round played in Cincinnati. And leading the entire race, at number 1, is Elena Rybakina. The 27-year-old from Kazakhstan reportedly holds 5,342 points, giving her a 212-point cushion over Sabalenka and a 213-point cushion over Andreeva. But do not assume that lead is safe. With Cincinnati still underway and the US Open still sitting ahead, that cushion is apparently anything but secure. One deep run from either Sabalenka or Andreeva, and the entire top of this leaderboard could reportedly be rewritten within days. Consider that for a moment. Rybakina, Sabalenka, and Andreeva, 3 different players from 3 different countries with 3 completely different playing styles, are allegedly separated by 213 points combined. That is no longer a gap. That is reportedly closer to a coin flip stretched across the 2 biggest tournaments left on the calendar. Whoever wins Cincinnati reportedly walks into the US Open carrying real momentum and a real shot at the top spot in this race. Whoever stumbles early could allegedly watch that entire cushion vanish inside a single week. And remember the number we opened with. The current WTA Finals qualification cut reportedly stands at 7,111 points. So while these players are fighting for position on this list, the real objective, the thing that actually determines their season, is securing one of those 8 coveted finals places before the year ends. Cincinnati could allegedly reshape this entire picture again before the US Open even takes center stage, and once New York arrives, every single win becomes even more valuable than the one before it. Here is a lightning-fast recap of exactly how this race stands right now, according to the latest data, because this season has produced more twists than almost any other in recent memory. Rybakina reportedly leads by the smallest of margins over Sabalenka, who trails Andreeva by just a single point. Svitolina and Pegula sit close enough behind to strike at any moment. Muchova anchors the back end of the top 6. Gauff and Noskova hold the door open just beneath the elite tier. Kostyuk and Swiatek round out the top 10, with Swiatek occupying a spot few expected to see her in this deep into the season. And right behind all of them, Azarenka, Schneider and Kirstea are apparently refusing to let the top 10 out of their sight. This is not a settled leaderboard. This is reportedly a race that could look completely different by the time Cincinnati wraps up. So here is what we genuinely want to know from you. Who finishes inside the top 8 when this season is finally decided? Can Iga Swiatek continue this remarkable climb back toward the top of the sport? And who ultimately seizes full control of this race before the US Open begins? Drop your predictions in the comments right now. And if you want every major WTA rankings and race update the moment it happens, subscribe to Anything Trend, share this video with your fellow tennis fans, and turn on notifications so you never miss a single shift in this race again.